Over the last 7 years, some version of this conversation has happened more times than I can count. Developer has come to me and they're building something. It could be a building, a project, a space, and they want to leverage our audience, our founders, and our community to help fill the building or activate it. On the face, it sounds like collaboration. They're building, we're building, seems like we should work together. Here's the problem: what they're proposing would pull our community apart. It would scatter the density that we've spent years trying to concentrate and focusing on building. It would fragment the exact proximity and density equation that makes an innovation district work. And that's the hard part. It doesn't look like someone is working against the vision. It looks like someone offering to help. But saying yes would quietly actually undo the thing that we're building. So I say no. And that no costs me. It could be a relationship, some goodwill, sometimes a partner who decides I'm difficult. And every time I'm left with the same uncomfortable question: was I protecting the vision or was I just being hard to work with? Here's what I've come to understand about the work: the tension isn't a personal failing, it's structural. It's built into this job that we call ecosystem building. See, an ecosystem builder sits at the intersection of people who have completely rational reasons to optimize for themselves. The developer wants to fill their building. The service firm wants clients. The founder wants capital. The corporations want a solution. None of them are wrong to want those things. It's actually what we're trying to help them all support getting. But here's the thing that almost nobody really says out loud: I have no authority to make any of them converge. I can't force it. I can only convene, persuade, and model what the larger opportunity actually looks like. Which means my only real tool is being someone people want to work with. The moment I stop being easy to collaborate with, the convergence dies because nobody has to be at my table. They choose to be. So, be easy to work with isn't soft advice. It's the entire mechanism of the work. It's the only power that I actually have. But here's what gets complicated. Because if being easy to work with is the mechanism, then the temptation is always to be too easy. To say yes to the developer, to give the service firm what they want, to help keep everyone happy and keep everyone at the table. So take another version that I see: a for-profit firm, say a marketing or events company or a service company, a service provider of some kind. They want us to support their individual business goals. They want access to our audience, our credibility, our convening power, in service of their business, in service of their revenue, in service of their single objective for their organization. And I could. It would make them happy, it would be easy, and it would make me the agreeable partner everyone likes. But every time I spend the ecosystem's convening power on someone's individual goal that doesn't serve the collective one, I'm borrowing against the vision around the ecosystem to buy a moment of goodwill. A builder who says yes to everyone ends up presiding over a collection of silos that are very polite to each other. We would call Kansas City nice. Everybody's happy, nothing converges, and that's the failure mode nobody warns you about when you're ecosystem building, when you're working on a placemaking initiative around intersectionality and convergence. Because from the outside, it looks like collaboration is going great. So the skill, if it even is a skill, is knowing when to absorb friction to someone at the table, to keep someone at the table, and when to introduce friction because the vision actually requires that friction to fulfill the vision and the outcome and the overall objectives, the long-term goal and the grind that you're after. And I want to be honest here. I don't always know which one I'm doing. There are days I hold the line and I'm sure I protected something that mattered. And there are days I hold the same line and I lie awake wondering if I just cost us a partner because I was too rigid to bend, because I wasn't agreeable, because I wasn't easy to work with. And the reverse holds true. There are times I've said yes to keep the peace. I told myself it was strategic patience. It was something that needed to happen, when maybe I just didn't want the hard conversation. So staying true to the vision has cost us real relationships with real people who walked away believing we just wouldn't play nice. Some of them were, I think, right to feel that way. They weren't wrong to feel that way. And I still think I made the right call. Both of those things are true at once, and I haven't found a way to make them stop being true. I'm sitting with this tension more than usual right now because it's about to play out at a scale I've never seen in this region. There have been two very large transformative announcements for the region, the Critical Materials Crossroads Engine, BioHub, Tech Hub designation, hundreds of millions of dollars, hundreds of partners, potentially thousands of jobs. And the exact tension that I live at the level of one developer, one service firm, is now going to play out across two enormous federal awards and hundreds of stakeholders. Will they converge or will they silo? Will the region concentrate the density or fragment it the way that developer wants to, just on a scale 1,000 times larger? Because here's what I've learned. It's nobody's job, structurally, to make convergence happen. It only happens if someone chooses to do the uncomfortable work of holding the vision when it would be easier to let everyone build their own silo in peace. And that's the next conversation. And I don't have that one figured out yet. So I'll be back. There is no neat resolution. There is no anecdote or outcome that I live with that I want to impart. I just want to talk and continue to have the conversation about what actually wins for this broader community and what do we do as we move forward and decide whether we converge or whether we fragment. So I hope to see you next time on the Disruption Lab. Thanks.